Hi friends, hi madam. Now going to the topic of software and data integrity and failures. Presented by Vamsi Krishna Saripudi. Now going to the introduction of software and data integrity failures. The code of infrastructure that does not secure and acknowledge the integrity of evaluations are referred to the software and data integrity failures. It says about the course. It says about the course that should be encrypted and integrity of evaluations to refer the software and data integrity failures. When you utilize a software with an untrusted source and respiratives when an event that has been changed with at the source in transformation or in a terminal crash, this can be happened. It says about use any server or untrusted source that cannot be transformed or terminated with a server changing of objects and respiratories. Now going as the part of the following techniques, the attackers can use this to a potential provider and unauthorized access of malicious codes or systems coding infections and executing the commands. It says the hacker uses unauthorized access with a server of sending a malicious codes and vulnerabilities to inject the systems to inject the system's access to execute with some execution codes and commands to authorize the software data integrity. Mm, Software data integrity. This is known about software data integrity failures. Now going to the next slide. Now telling about identifications of software and data integrities. It has an insecure declaration, the attack of Sensorious with software and data integrity failures. Now going to the insecure declaration, it means a untrusted methods and servers are not be founded in a declaration by using some malicious codes and vulnerabilities in encoding the system access. Now going to the attackers associates with software and data integrity failures are the most using in wind solar elements and wind operatives in applying the system infections. Now going to the insecure declarations and attack sensorials we talk about in the next slides. Insecure declaration. When an application centralizes the data structure and objects, it changes them to a different format such as binary or a structured text like XML and JSON so that they can used from other purposes. When an application returns the encode output its original form, that it is known as declaration. It says some structure of objects and binary structure text like with XML and JSON are used in a return of encoding of original form by declaration of systems and encodes with using XML and JSON. In order to take an advantage in insecurity declaration, the attack often tampers with the data in a data structure or a object that can be changed the content of the objects or changing the logins and applications. When insecure data attacker uses a structure of objects and data contents and framings and microarrays of malicious codes and logins and credentials with the application. If successfully attacker uses the vulnerabilities can be leaded in a denial of service in the operations that must be unauthorized by access, unidentification by passing. Those are remote code executions. It will be like an online of remote code executions. It says the hacker uses to send a malicious codes or variables to the application of login credential. It must be unauthorized by the remote code executions. This is known about insecure declaration. Now going to the next slide. Software and data integrity failures and attacks sensorious. There we use an attacker, user, application, developer, and CI/CD pipelines. Now going to the attacker. Attacker sends to install a malicious codes into CI and CD pipeline. In CI and CD pipeline, they have text build and develop. One developer uses a source code to get and re reproduce the coding. Reproduce the coding. The attacker gains access to the network through making a malicious code to the user. And user works with a server and the application of download and install the malicious code. This is the process of software data integrity failure and attacks of sensorious. It is mainly worked by the attacker, user, application, developer, and CI/CD pipelines with a server of malicious codes and vulnerabilities to use with the user and access to the network throughout a malicious codes. Now, going to the next slide of CI/CD pipelines. CI/CD pipelines. The attacker takes advantages of an insecure CI/CD pipeline to install a malicious code that will be spreaded across it. When the attacker uses the CI/CD pipeline with installing a malicious code to spread across it, when the user when the user works and applications are being identified by the organizations and installs a malicious code to push into the production. The customer is unknowingly downloading the malicious codes from the organization's update server. There has been a vulnerabilities of malicious codes in the system. The malicious code update is installing in the customer environment. It must be a loss of the customer's system. The attacker uses the malicious codes to gain access to the customer network and slow down his server by using a malicious codes and accesses. This is known about a attacker of insurance of software data integrity failures. Now going to the next slide. Example, attack of sensorious. Without signing, make an update and malicious update from a SolarWinds. Now telling about without signing and making up an update. Many homes has routers and set-top boxes and frames and verifying the IDs and addresses they give is server access. In unsigning server access, growing a target of the attacker accepts through a major concept on many times. In some mechanical issues was fixed by a future version or previous version may get out without signing making an update. This is the example for attacks and sensorities. In malicious update from SolarWinds, the nation state have been known to attack an update in a mechanism with a with a recent attack. The recent attack began the Solar in a oriented attack. The companies develops a software have been secured, built, updated in an integrity process. They still available several months to distribute a high targeted malicious updates by more than 18,000 of organizations around they were affected. This is one of the most fair reacting and significant breaches of the nature of the history. This is known about a malicious update from the solar wind. These are the examples of attacks and censures. Now going to the topic of software data integrity failures. This is the process we should aware of malicious codes in doing software data integrity. Thank you.